It's a lot heavier than an E31. So this is an M6 rear diff, so it's got LSD. It's gonna be going into the 6 series just to get a little more traction, help the car do some real burnouts instead of those one-wheel fires that it does whenever I'm just driving around. Kind of silly, actually. The first part on this, I gotta actually make sure we got fluid in here. I'll probably drain it and then fill it back up. And after that, I gotta actually pull these guys off. Since these are from an M6, it's not gonna work. E64, or wait, what are they? No, they're E46 M3 ones that apparently work with the internals here and then line up with the same axles that are in the 645 right now. On top of that, you have to use the back half of an M6 drive shaft, which I actually just separated right here. Oh, that's an M6 rear drive shaft. Other than that, it should just bolt right in. So this should be hopefully an easy swap, which is funny. It actually has some of the same color of like overspray on it as my car is right now, which that's a coincidence. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and start doing that. Just wanted to show you guys the drain plug. That's the fill plug, and you can see how dirty these are. So I literally was just taking a rag, just kind of cleaning them up, at least to get the points of contact so I can clean them up. I do have some new ones that I can drop in. I just don't want to strip them coming out and then have that be an issue. Not that I've had that issue before, but I've had it on other parts. So then I'm gonna end up just draining it out, filling it back up. Other than that, that's all the prep I really need to do on this rear diff. But yeah, there you go. Get the idea? All right. Alright, so this is the reason why I always check fluids on stuff. Dude, I actually had a super rare transmission in a car that I had back when I was way younger, and I just tossed it in to the car without even thinking about checking the fluid, and I ended up literally seizing up that transmission and blowing it up because it had no fluid in it. I don't know what I was thinking. I was young, I didn't really know much, let's be honest. As of right now, I just drained the fluid on this rear diff, and look, there's absolutely none came out of it. It's completely empty. They probably did that, you know, just to ship it. They didn't want the fluid getting everywhere. I would have been screwed. I would have been out all the money and the time. Just a heads up, fair warning to people out there, always check transmission, rear diff fluids before you install everything, or at least when you have it installed, just double check it if you're buying something that's a used product from somebody else. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this back up with some purple stuff that I got, and we'll keep going. All right, cool. Just so you know, I went ahead and ordered these ahead of time just because I was like, yeah, I'll probably need them. It's always good to swap these out. They have like little gaskets on them and stuff, so it's better to have freshies instead of some old ones. I'll just get rid of the old ones and go ahead and put in a couple new ones. I'll go ahead and just pop in this drain one on the bottom. So this is basically what I've been using in all my BMWs. Well, purple max gear, synthetic, and it's a 75-140. This rear diff should take about 1.2 quarts. So I got 2 bottles. Normally people use like a syringe or something to kind of get it in there. I'm literally just gonna dump this entire bottle in on it sideways, and then grab the other one and do about to where I think it should be, and then just kind of take it and see if it's right where it should be. Just bring it back to level, and then it'll either come out to drain or come out to fill, or else it won't. Pretty simple procedure. Alright, so the next step I'm working on here is output shafts connect to the axle, essentially. The output shafts from the diffs, you gotta swap them out. So these are from an E64 M3. I actually shopped around a bunch trying to find like a used set. Everybody pretty much wouldn't sell them without the diffs. It was comparable to just buy new ones. So I was like, dude, if that's how it is, I'll just buy some new ones. I just went ahead and ordered these from BMW. As you can see, there's 2 different sizes here. So there's 2 different part numbers for them. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop these out, and I'm hoping that one is smaller on one side and the other one's bigger so that it matches up, because these are supposed to match up. Basically what it is though is that the bolt pattern on these is set up for an M6. The axles are completely different. So in order to get around that, you just go ahead and run these E46 M3 output shafts. Make it so we can just run the stock 645 axles with the M6 rear diff. Yeah, So just gonna keep going. The fluid's in there, that's looking good. Just gonna do this, and we'll just keep going. All right. So on these, they come out pretty easily normally. I got this tool that I've been using for a long time. We'll see how stuck in these are. Okay, is that it? That looks like that's it. So this looks like the longer side, which matches up with that, obviously. Dude, that came out super quick and easy. Awesome. And then this should just hopefully line back up. There's a whole bunch of oil in here, and the seals actually look pretty good. I'm just gonna hope I can get it to line up. I take some of this oil and just kind of rub it on there. There you go. Quick and easy. Same thing on the other side, and then we'll be done. That's crazy. So literally, take a look at it. This is the M6 one, and then this is the M3. And you can see, actually it's a lot smaller, right? But that's why this one lines up with the 645. There you go. That's it for that. After this, I gotta start working on pulling stuff out of the car. Then we'll install it. All right. Alright, so a little bit of an issue. I realized as I was pulling off the rear diff that I haven't actually prepped this all the way. There's supposed to be a spacer in here because the bolt's a different size, which I actually have these guys, so I gotta glue that in. This goes right in. So 16mm outer diameter, 14mm inner, so hopefully that works. I gotta pull the bolt, see if that fits. If that does, then you use a little Loctite 660, just put it on the outside of that spacer, and you should be good. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Just gonna go ahead and pull the rest of the rear diff out all the way. Kind of look over everything. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm doing right now. And then hopefully I can get this bad boy back in there. Guess we'll see what happens. Alright, so I got the rear diff out. I actually took a look at the new rear diff, and it does need a spacer for that bolt. It's a 14mm bolt that goes into the holes. So what I did is went ahead and I glued in a little sleeve, essentially, that will take it from a 16mm down to a 14mm. These you can find on eBay. Use a little Loctite 660 to hold it in. Takes about an hour or two to dry. While I was waiting on that, I figured I'd go ahead and swap out the center support bearing. I mean, it looked fine. A part of me would want to just leave everything, but I already had a new one, so since I had it out, might as well pop it in there. And honestly, it does feel a little better than the old one. That was actually super simple to do. All I had to do was pound it off with this guy. Well, I actually pulled on that super hard, so it ripped off, and then just pushed this out as much as I could, and then once I got down, I could actually get down to the bearing, just hammer the bearing off. And then to put it back on, I just have a 46mm socket right here, and which fits right over the edge of that, actually perfectly right up on there. And then you just bang it around a couple times, put a little grease on it to help it out, and it went on super quick. That's all coming back together. Only issue that I'm seeing is the rear diff bushings. They look a little worn. I gotta think about it. I think I'm gonna wait and go ahead and order those, and then just do it right the first time. That way I don't have to come back and redo them. I thought it was the center support bearing. I was gonna play on the drive shaft every once in a while, just in between 2,000 and 3,000 RPMs while I was driving. So I figured it was center support bearing, which actually looked decent. So it might just be the diff bushings. I looked at those too though. I mean, they're okay, they're not great. You know, they definitely have some cracking on them. That might have been the issue. Next, I'm probably just gonna check the Guibo out, make sure it's fine. And as long as that's fine, I'll just go ahead and I might, maybe it makes sense to just install the drive shaft for now. The rear diff's drying up, just to get that out of the way. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. All right, while I'm waiting on that rear diff, I don't know if you can hear my neighbors yelling in the background, it's great. In the meantime, I can do this drive shaft. These are actually pretty simple drive shafts, it's kind of cool. The E31 just comes apart, but on the E64, E60 series, they have an 18 mil bolt, so that screws into right here. When I pulled it apart on the other ones, I looked at where this weight was essentially when I marked it. So I was hoping to line up the marks here. That'll hopefully keep it balanced. So I'm gonna try as much as I can. But yeah, the weights on this one are on this side, which is exactly where they were at on the old one. But yeah, then there's this weight too. Gonna gamble, hopefully it works out. I guess worst case, I just gotta pull everything back apart. But yeah, anyway. All right, what's up guys? It's been a couple days. Actually had to wait for new rear diff bushings to show up. Finally got some free time, so I just installed those rear bushings. I got them from Powerflex. Just gonna show you how I installed those real quick. And to get the old ones out, I literally just took a socket that was bigger, and I, like this, right here actually, this is it. I put a socket on that was big enough to pull out the center. I didn't have ones that were big enough to pull out the whole bushing. And then I was able to actually just take a flathead screwdriver, and I was able to just smash out the rest real quick. It actually wasn't that hard once that metal piece was out of the middle. Next, this guy's got to go into that. That's heavy. It's gonna be great. Let me just show you the rear diff bushings. There they are. Just gotta make sure they're in the right way. Right there. Yeah, as you can see. And then you just gotta push in the centers. And then these are the bolts. As you can see, the washer goes on the back, and then it'll, you know, I'll stick them through. So I'm gonna put them in, and then hopefully get this thing in here tonight. So one thing I noticed, so when you're trying to mount the bolts and from the drive shaft to the rear differential, come with these plates that go in between the bolts. The ones for the 645 don't line up with the M6 holes, obviously, because they're different sizes. So I had to order another set of M6 ones just to make that work. Just putting the bolts into the output shafts, the E46 output shafts, M3, and they line right up. You can see there's a little bit of a lip there. So maybe the E46 M3 axle itself is a little bit bigger. These look like they seat properly right on there. Alright, now we're good. Alright, yeah. Alright, it's in there. It's weird as I couldn't install those because how far down the rear diff hangs down now. Guess we'll see what happens. See how much it tweaks because it's convertible. Alright, so I got the M6 rear diff in. We're gonna go take it for a little spin. I've actually been driving on it for a little bit. I had an issue where I forgot to tighten in the center support bearing after I got everything in. I had to go in and pull everything back apart again and then tighten it back up, but it's been doing good ever since. Cornering on this was like way better. Just with that one wheel, it would just like kind of start sliding like way earlier than it should. and then it would grab all of a sudden and then just kind of like straighten back out. And that was like creating some issues, you know, if you're like trying to drift or anything like that, kind of bullshit. But I wasn't really trying to, and it would, you know, I'd just be like cornering super hard and it would go into a slide. But now with the LSD, it's way better. So I went from like a 323 to a 363. So it's a little bit quicker. I should have done like a quarter mile 0 to 60 before, but now I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just do one just to kind of see. I have like one of those little apps that kind of tracks everything. So we'll go down, I'm gonna go down to my little straightaways down here. Nobody's at. We'll kind of just get a little 0 to 60 quarter mile action, and from there, kind of see what's going on with it. Yeah, she's ripping. You. Whoa. Shit. I don't know why that went up. Alright. Air suspension. Yeah. Yeah, let's get out past the stop sign. And we'll kind of let her rip. This is just shits and grins. I'm gonna end up doing a trans tune on this, and what that'll do hopefully is kind of tighten everything up, make it a lot snappier. Didn't, you know, after I did the paddle shifters, you know, it's been fun. It's definitely not like super snappy. These transmissions, I know, they kind of take a little time to change the gears and stuff, which is not ideal. So with the trans tune, hopefully that'll kind of take care of some of the issues, make it a lot tighter, get our quarter mile speed down, time down. And I got some other little toys that we'll probably be putting on there as well. And we're gonna go ahead and start going. Yeah, so not too shabby. I don't know, it says 18.6 on the quarter. I don't know if I believe that. Over again. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and reset this and wait for the cars to pass. We're in Mexico, baby. Get down in the first gear. All right. Better. It says 15-second quarter mile. 0 to 60, 7.8. I don't know if I believe that either. We'll probably do a couple more runs on the way back home on the same stretch of road. There's your cornering a little. I mean, I think with some better tires, maybe wider tires too, that would help a lot. Right now I'm just running a 20 by 10 rear, and it seems really small, especially with the wide body kit. I did order some wheels. Those kind of like fell through. Those guys just suck. Basically paid for them, put down a deposit, and waiting almost 9 months now, and they're just ghosting me. Just been working on getting my deposit back, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go order some wheels from somewhere else. You know, maybe there's somebody that actually can make some 20 by 14 rears, 20 by 11 fronts. That's what I was looking at. So we'll see what happens. Meantime, I'm just gonna keep rocking these wheels. I don't mind them. It's just with the adapters on there, it's a little crazy. Oh, jeez. Pumps are bad. Yeah, this exhaust is pretty quiet too for a V8. You know, you'd kind of expect there to be a little more oomph to it, you know, little straight pipes like everyone is doing and shit. I'm not really big into straight pipe. I might just remove the resonator. Cracked right now anyways. I didn't realize that when I was under there doing all the drive shaft stuff. So, but you know, I'll take care of that here probably in the next few weeks. So, all right. We're in Mexico, baby. For you.